going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking about The Marvels. This is a movie that I have been moderately looking forward to. In this film, we have Carol Danvers, who gets her powers entangled with those of Kamala Khan and Monica Rambeau, forcing them to work together to save the universe. Nia DaCosta directs this film, and I was not the biggest fan of Candyman. I thought there were a lot of issues with that movie, so I was moderately excited for The Marvels. I think the trailers did a good enough job to get me a little bit excited. I think they were fun enough, and I was really hoping that this movie would have been a little bit quirky and a little bit, a little bit weird. And you get that for the first 30 minutes. However, once we get past those 30 minutes, this movie becomes a gigantic mess. Now, the threesome that I was really looking forward to with Kamala, Carol, and Monica, I think that absolutely works. It takes a little while for their chemistry to really start bonding and start vibing with how they work together. But once we get to see them together, I think that is where the film absolutely works and really starts to shine. And really, my main source of being excited for this film was Kamala Khan, because I really enjoyed Ms. Marvel. I thought it was absolutely fun. Just watching a couple of clips before the movie came out and just seeing the clips of Kamala and her family, it really made me miss them. And I was really surprised at how big of a role they actually get to play in this movie, because they are in this film for a majority of this movie. With Teyonah Parris and Brie Larson, I like them enough, but there wasn't really anything for me to really get attached to them as much as I really wanted to, because I really enjoyed Teyonah Parris as Monica in WandaVision. I think she served that role pretty well. This is a really messy movie that isn't quirky or as silly as it should have been, because for the first 30 minutes where we see our main stars get entangled with their powers, they're switching places with each other. And that is where I was really having a lot of fun, because I really love the way that they were using their powers. I really love the dynamics that they were having, the way that they were trading places. All of that was fun for a majority of it. However, once we get into the real meat of the story and what we're actually really faced on, there is a lot of moments where it just felt clunky, rushed, and it was just throwing a lot of things at you. And it just felt like this movie was just made for the post-credit scenes, and it just felt like we were rushing and rushing and rushing, and it just didn't feel like the story was really cohesive at points, because you have a lot of flashbacks. And if you have not seen WandaVision or Miss Marvel, you won't be lost, because they gave you a really nice recap in this movie within 30 seconds, and you're just going to be able to get caught up. And that is where a lot of the mess really comes in, because you have this villain played by Zawe Ashton, who really doesn't do much in this movie. What she really does feel like is what Eddie Redmayne felt in Jupiter Ascending. She kind of has that same voice. She is a one-dimensional villain that's going after Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel destroyed her home, and now she's out for a quest of revenge. And she was just not a compelling villain, and she should have been, especially the way that she was marketed in the trailers. There's nothing in this movie that really got me excited. There was nothing in this movie that made me want to smile. There are a couple of moments of humor in this movie where the jokes did land for me personally. It just felt like there was a good movie in here. However, they cut the best parts out and left the worst parts in. And that is just exactly how I felt from past the 30-minute mark till the end of the movie, because it felt rushed, it felt incohesive, and it was just a sloppy mess from beginning to end. Because even though I was really vibing with these characters, the rest of this movie really just left me bored, and I was really hoping for a quirky space opera, and we did not get that at all, because I really enjoyed these characters and I really wanted to see them in a fun little movie, just one that I kind of wanted a little bit more of, and I really just didn't get. But those are my thoughts on the Marvels. Are you guys planning on checking this film out when it comes out on Disney Plus? Because I know half of the people aren't going to go to the theaters to check this film out. But let me know your thoughts once you check it out, or if you have already checked it out, and I'll catch you guys for the next reviews.